Oh, here comes the experienced figure of Salvatore Cavallaro of Italy.
And now be ready to greet his opponent in the blue corner of the ring. From Finland, Anton EMBULAJEV.
Anton EMBULAJEV of Finland approaching the boxing ring for his World Championship debut. Just 20 years of age. Facing off against the very experienced man over in the red corner, Salvatore Cavallaro. He's only 26 years old himself, but he is a very experienced AIBA style boxer now. So we're underway then. 75 kilogram middleweight action between reigning national champions. The boxer wearing red, Salvatore Cavallaro, took the Italian national championship earlier this year in the 75 kilogram middleweight division, facing off against his counterpart in that regard. Anton EMBULAJEV took the Finnish national title, 75 kilograms. Saw him earlier this summer at the European Under-22 Championships in Roseto, eliminated in the preliminary rounds of that continental tournament for boxers under the age of 22. And again, it's always a stepping stone. People will wonder, well, what's the point once you're an adult of having that level of competition? But it's just to ensure you don't run up against a vastly experienced operator despite the age. So the action likely to be more competitive and just teach the boxers how to compete and not be overwhelmed by running up against a three-time Olympian or veteran of multiple global tournaments at that young stage of their careers. Cavallaro, as mentioned, is only 26, but he has accomplished so much experience or accumulated so much experience in so many competitions. The World Championships in Hamburg, we ran up against Arlen Lopez of Cuba. He's been representing on the global stage since the 2015 World Championships in Doha, Qatar. So that gives you an idea as to how long he has been operating at or around this level. A man who is currently the reigning Italian national champion, quarter-finalist in Yekaterinburg 2 years ago. Cavallaro, a very experienced, very explosive puncher out of that wide-legged stance. Attempts a spearing left hand to the body, but wasn't able to find the range. So a little bit untidy at close range. Now it's back to punching distance. He possesses this marauding quality, does Cavallaro. Hands down contemptuously by his side now from EMBULAJEV. First round in the book. So a 4-1 split in favor of Cavallaro at the conclusion of that first round. Some of the action from the first. Left hand was sneaked in on the inside from the aggressor wearing red. So into the second round we go then. The World Championship debutant Anton EMBULAJEV, born in Russia, representing Finland, competing in his first global championships, having enjoyed multiple domestic successes and regional successes in and around, well, of course, Finland and Scandinavia more broadly. Left-hand success on the back foot is followed by a beautifully picked right hand, which he punched out from around his pec. Cavallaro with a flashing right hand as he stepped over the front foot for that explosion of activity. So a minute gone in this second round. It's Cavallaro with the southpaw right, but he's so committed to his attacks, and it's been a characteristic of his boxing for as long as I've been watching him. Salvatore Cavallaro, very explosive individual. When he triggers into range, there you see he maintained it, but sometimes he is guilty of falling in, but he kept the distance nicely and kept the attack going, and that's what he's doing here before a clinch ensues. Neither man looking to work on the inside. But when Cavallaro can keep the attacks going as he did there with these explosive bursts of spasmodic activity, well, he's very difficult to beat because he's a bull-strong 75-kilogram middleweight. So approaching a minute to go in this second round. And again, you see, I think Cavallaro is doing a good job here, as you'd expect, given his experience. The clash of heads, Cavallaro gesturing immediately. I was just trying to see from my ringside commentary position whether there's been an eye injury sustained that's bleeding. Cavallaro tapping his forehead immediately. You can see reddening around the left eye. And of course, the clash of heads, always an increased probability when you've got a southpaw and orthodox boxer sharing the ring. Right hand landed with the inside of the wrist almost from Cavallaro. But Cavallaro is doing a good job here of boxing at his own tempo for my money. Because when you're that muscular and your bursts are that explosive, you see this is an example of the falling in. But in the meantime, when he gets it beyond punching distance, EMBULAJEV isn't able to close the distance or maintain the pressure and get to work with his own longer lead left hand. But that, again, all comes with experience, see. Cavallaro doing a good job for my money, old manning his way through this one. He's always looking threatening, and he's boxing on his own terms when he chooses to. And in the meantime, EMBULAJEV is being outworked and outscored. At least that's how I see it, but what say the judges seated around the boxing ring? So the second round scored unanimously in favor of Cavallaro. So that's all square on the card of the Guatemalan judge. 19 points apiece. And a 20 points to 18 margin in favor of Cavallaro on the other four scorecards. So into the third round we go then. And thanks to AIBA live scoring, Anton EMBULAJEV and his team, well, Anton EMBULAJEV's team will be aware of the state of the contest going into the third and final round. And I would be very surprised if they've said anything other than, listen, you're trailing in this contest, you've got to put it on this man. And I'm sure he's trying to do that, but again, here's an example of Cavallaro just buying time, allowing the clock to continue to elapse. Now he's on his bike, and EMBULAJEV is the one with the onus to close the distance. And once it is in distance, look at what Cavallaro does. And this is experience in evidence here. But you just see that he's been spoken to by the referee about his responsibility to engage. Southpaw left was a flashing shot, but again, the overcommitment and then the ensuing clinch, clamping up EMBULAJEV like a vice and ensuring that his hands can't get free to work. And how many seconds ticked off the clock during that coming together? As it happens once again. What's this? Another 10 seconds perhaps of EMBULAJEV being tied up and placed in a corner. And all of this is favoring the man in red as he continues to grapple and wrestle on the inside, Cavallaro. And being in such a commanding position on 4 of the 5 scorecards, Cavallaro just needs to ensure that he doesn't pick up a cut, walk into a stray punch, of course, or fall foul of the referee and get a warning for excessive holding. I don't think he's anywhere near that territory yet. But look at the amount of clinching that he's initiating to prevent EMBULAJEV from working. And EMBULAJEV simply not able to do anything about it. He was almost accepting the clinch. Or perhaps he's not accepting it as he's caught with the inside of the glove. As again, Cavallaro doing a good job of looking very busy and very threatening. Popping in with a right jab now. Then moving his feet effectively, but again, I think this is a terrific demonstration by Cavallaro of how to box on your own terms and at your own tempo. Because I did mention the fact that Cavallaro, a very strong middleweight boxer, and maybe EMBULAJEV can't get his arms free. But look at how long Cavallaro was taking. Both men ignored the issue of the command of break twice as the clock continued to tick. So Cavallaro seeing how far he can take it with this official before picking up a warning which will result in a point deduction. But he's managed this contest very well indeed. Got himself into a commanding position on the majority of the scorecards and then just kept himself out of harm's way for the final 3-minute session. Boxing clever, Salvatore Cavallaro about to be announced as the winner and go through to the second preliminary round of the middleweight tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 64 in the ring A, the winner on points by unanimous decision is the boxer out of the red corner from Italy.
And there's confirmation of a unanimous point decision victory for Salvatore Cavallaro of Italy. 30-27 on 4 of the 5 scorecards, having taken the first round on a 4-1 split. Very good display indeed for Cavallaro, who just negotiated that third round on his own terms. Clinching more than he was punching, truth be told, but showed enough in the moments when he was letting his hands go to take that round as well. Cavallaro goes through. Anton EMBULAJEV, the Finnish national champion, eliminated here in this, his first appearance at an AIBA World Boxing Championships.